After that, you will work for 4 hours and design your proposal. After that, we will have pitches with 3 minutes. Time will be measured very strictly, where you will need to present your idea and your team. However, in order to open the first 3D concrete competition, we give the opening words to Professor Indriķis Muižnieks, Rector of University of Latvia. Welcome.
Hello, everybody, all around the world. It's really surprised that we can attract such nice attention and interest for so many people in the development ideas which were set forth by our colleagues, the group of young architects from the Riga Technical University, and they are favoring and dedicated to the development plans of the University of Latvia. The University of Latvia is one of the few universities named after the country it resides, not after the city where it is located, but it's just to emphasize very close link of our university with the development of the beginning of the state of Latvia. You see, that is the flag, the colors of the Latvian flag, and we are celebrating this week the 103 years anniversary of our country. That's why it's very nicely that coincides with this national holiday. And the University of Latvia is always trying to be part and parcel of our country's development, to set forth new ideas, new technologies, new solutions. And in this respect, the idea of organizing a concrete printing contest here on the grounds, not on the ground, but having in mind the development processes on the grounds of the new campus of the University of Latvia is a perfect and marvelous such a contribution to the development plans, which will in the end effect create a new open, smart, embedded into the city's environment campus, also honoring the academic traditions of the university and providing a perfect place for the development of new research, study ideas for the students from all over the world, and of course from Latvia. There's Riga itself. Probably you will be told a lot about Riga. It's very such an interesting, also sometimes contradictory, but very vibrant history. In past, there have been a lot of thinkers, world scale originating from Riga, a lot of ideas of technologies originating from Riga, and I believe that it is our task also to honor those ideas and to make the best development for them, now setting forth new technologies, new possibilities in the territory of the campus we are looking forward to develop, which has been started already. There are already a good deal of universities' activities located in this place, which you will be told about. But I'm really thankful to all the organizers and supporters of this event, and I hope that this event will bring really nice ideas for which will be and could be implemented in this environment. Thank you very much, and all the best for your contest.
Thank you for the nice opening words, and let's hope that this can be a gift to University of Latvia and also to our country in this very festive time. Otherwise, we will continue forward with the next presentations. I will give you a very quick overview of the full schedule of the event. So this is our Miro board. I hope you can see it right now. Some of you already have spent some time there. On top, you can see a really big 3D logo. It shows how far in the conference we currently are. And for the first hour, you will hear Maris Šinka from 3D Concrete Laboratory. Then you will hear me again about the rules of the competition. And after that, Jānis Ploks and Helmuts Caune from University of Latvia and ISAIAH Berlin Society on the task of the competition. Otherwise, let's continue with the Maris Schenke from 3D Concrete Laboratory. The screen and virtual microphone are yours, and we are ready for your presentation. Welcome with the virtual applauses. Cheers.
Thank you, Matis, for organizing this event. Dear participants, my name is Maris Schenke. I am a head of 3D concrete printing laboratory at Riga Technical University. And I will give a short presentation on concrete 3D printing. So this presentation is like a shorter version of a presentation that I did a few weeks ago during the Creative Tuesdays meetup. You can see the full lecture. Actually, it's been recorded, so you can see it online in Facebook. So if you have any questions you will have during the next 3 or 4 months when you will develop your idea, then you can definitely go back to this lecture and see it once more. So here is a compilation of different 3D printing, concrete 3D printing methods, and you can see that they are quite different. There are some of them are extrusion based, layer by layer 3D printing. There's a D shape that is done in a powder bed. Then from ETH Zurich, this is smart dynamic casting, where there's a slip form that is continuously being filled with fast setting concrete, or from TU Braunschweig, where they use a shotcrete. So it's two robotic arms applying shotcrete to a steel mesh wall. So these are all 3D concrete printing methods. But we will, in the case of this contest and in my lecture, we are talking about layered extrusion. That's the most commonly used method of concrete 3D printing. So it gives this layered texture of the printed element. There are definitely different ways how you can print also with this layered extrusion. Here are some examples from Europe. So it's from Danish Technological Institute, where they are applying this really fast setting binder and creating these free form structures that are setting fast, and you can achieve these overhangs. Then from TU Eindhoven, where they used reinforcement and 3D concrete 3D printing at the same time, and you can and they are printing elements for bridges that together with post tensioning you can achieve these 3D printed concrete bridges. Or for example, TU Dresden used this the idea to use more commonly used concrete mixtures and apply just the 3D printing at the very end, use this really rigid mix and use it in like more regular construction. So these are all extrusion-based, layered extrusion-based 3D printing methods. That is, in a scope of today's contest. There is, of course, you can use different kinds of materials to extrude. So there's a extrusion of a stiff materials. It's also from TU Dresden, or you can use extrusion of a flowing material. But usually, and most commonly, and what are also we using in Riga Technical University, so it's used a mode of oriented pressing. So you press the next layer upon a previous layer, so gaining this like a oriented pressing. That is what we will use. That is what we are using in our laboratory. One of the challenges that is in a 3D concrete printing industry in our also scientific challenge, so it's a reinforcement. So regular concrete is usually used together with steel reinforcement because concrete is good in compressive strength but really bad in tensile strength. So if you have some flexural strength that is needed, you need some something that is receiving this tensile strength. So you need some reinforcement. So, and how can you apply this reinforcement? So there are some possibilities to use external reinforcement. This is quite a hard method, and this reinforcement is prone to corrosion. So this is not a typical method to use. One of the methods to be used in 3D printing, so it's post-tensioning. So these elements have been 3D printed previously, and then you can see at the very ends here, these are just casted concrete elements, and the post-tension wires go through here this is what takes up this tensile strength. One of the possibilities is also to print reinforcement at the same time together with concrete. This is done, for example, with at TU Eindhoven, but they are using this like a really small steel wire. So it's not a reinforcement that takes all this tensile strength. And this is also quite a hard method to be printing with. So one of the most regularly used, and what I would also suggest is to use this 3D printing, 3D printed elements as permanent molds, or as it's referred to in this 3D printing industry as contour crafting. So you craft you print the outer layer of your structure. The inner layer is filled with steel reinforcement and filled with regular concrete. So this is what gives the structural strength of the construction, and the printed element is just to add this free form, giving this free form and keeping this contour of the element. I will continue with some of the documented structural applications of 3D printed concrete. That some are more and some are less relevant to this competition, but this is one example how you see how such a 3D printed elements can be have been applied in real life. For example, this was one 3D printed column that was done in Switzerland. The idea that they needed this column to also be that they could calculate it, and that it could be accepted by local construction regulations. So what they did, they built this steel reinforcement of the column. You can see it here when it was finished. The idea is like this: they have a steel reinforcement, and then they have this outer shell. This is actually not a layered extrusion of concrete. This is printed in plastic, so it's they call it eggshell. So it's a really thin plastic 3D printed mold that is, and this reinforcement is installed in it, and then they add this fast setting concrete to this reinforcement, so they can get this free form column. This is one of the ways how you can achieve really interesting forms for your structure. The bridge that I showed you previously. So in this case, for you to understand how this works also from structural point of view, as 3D printed concrete is not well known and it's not been studied really widely. So how such a structure can be safely built, and how can we allow people to move here? So the main idea is like this. It's called design by testing. So you build a smaller scale model. It's not really small. It's a 2:1 scale mock-up model, and you apply all the loads that that could be applied to the structure, and you break it. So yes, this is a quite expensive way how to prove that such a structure is capable of holding the loads. But that is what the first bridges and first elements need to go through. So it can be used in real life. This is maybe a much simpler application. This was in the University of Innsbruck, and really nice, this pavilion. And in this case, it is consisting of 47 different individual elements. Each element is self-supporting, so it means that it can stand just on its own. And in this case, there is not so much maybe the danger of something breaking. The idea in this case, they have some testing results of this concrete. So from this design point of view, they just use this material safety factor, and that means that there is like twice as much material applied here as it was necessary by the calculation. So that is one of the ways how such structures can be realized in real life. And this is one other example from University of Ghent, how you can get. It's a free form, but it's not a free form just for the sake of a free form. This is a topology optimized technique. So the idea that its material is being placed only where the structural design requires it to be. So it's not for the looks; it's for the strength, the material here. And this is also used together with the post tensioning, so there goes a post tension wire through this, and that is what is taking up the tensile loads of this structure. This was one great example in this summer from Zahadid Studios that they did together with ETH Zurich and material producer Holcim they did as this pedestrian bridge in Venice. The idea of this bridge is these also are individually printed elements, but how do they print it and how they installed it? So the idea is that when they installed it, there was a wooden structure underneath it, and they built the elements, but this is a clamped arch. So clamped arch means that there is no mortar and no steel holding these elements together. This is like a similar way as a 12th century, 13th century churches were built. Yeah, so this arch is only holding on upon its own weight. So this is a good example how 3D printing can be used very innovatively and using the best, because these all, of course, are individual elements with the different geometries. But in a case where you might have seen these buildings, so one of the highest right now in Europe, so here it's much more easier. So it's just built. It's a layered extrusion. There is a manually inserted reinforcement, and this is done according to regular construction standards. So these buildings were not subjected to this huge mechanical mock-up test. So nobody built twice as a small building and broke it. Quite shortly, we'll go over a current situation at Riga Technical University. So our laboratory was just opened at the 1st of April this year. What are we using? We are using this gantry type 3D printer that was custom built with us and with our help from RTU Design Factory. And what we are using, usually we are using, for modeling, we are using SolidWorks, and for slicing, it's Simplify 3D. Some limitations. What are we? So right now we are using, this is an ordinary Portland cement binder, what we are using today. So it's without set accelerator, so it means that it sets at a regular speed. Let's say it doesn't set very fast, but the compressive strength is quite high, so you can achieve, you can build quite safely with it. Different nozzle sizes, so the smallest one could go to the 20 millimeters. There are some limitations of single piece print, but these probably will be. We will talk about these in a later month, because these can be also modified. Yeah, we can move the printer. It has these wheels, so the x-axis is quite flexible. The 20 degree build angle also if you think about it creatively, you can of course achieve greater overhangs. It just needs to be thought through. Some objects of some first of the prints. So yes, there's a model and then a print, and this is like a small pot for a Christmas tree. Mattis, how much time do I have?
You still have 10 minutes if you want to take those technically. Okay,
yeah, well, 5 will be enough. Okay, I will just go through some quick examples that I found on this Facebook group where most of the 3D printed elements can be found. What I see good in those examples and what is maybe not the best. So these are quite nice examples of small objects that is quite easily achievable. So yeah, you just print the separate elements and you can move them. The idea of this is that probably it's not the best idea to build an element that needs to be printed in one go. It's probably not. It's definitely not the best from the production point of view, and you will have many limitations on your object. Really nice smaller objects. This was from Czech Republic. Such a chair could be easily done. Maybe some reinforcement placed manually during construction. Good example of an arch. So if the idea of arches is really good in 3D printing, so you need less of a tensile reinforcement. So this is a good example also. Here also was from Czech Republic, a different project. This was some park for this parkour. So here you can see that this is done also with contour crafting. So the outer contours have been printed, and inner structural part is done with regular concrete here. So you have a free-form element, but the structural element is a regular reinforced concrete. Some interesting examples from China. So you can also use this as for a pavement. It doesn't need maybe to go up. It's also you can get these free forms and put it at a base level. It's a nice idea. There was. And this is, of course, something. This is also, I think, from University of Ghent. So, if you want such a large overhangs, so it means you need some reinforcement. This is also with the post tensioning. This probably is maybe. I wouldn't advise this to be used in this context, because this is a hard method to be producing. This also might not be. I have maybe taken it out of the context. There maybe is some idea why you should print such overhang where it's just somehow sticking together. But I would advise against such a 3D printed structures where somebody can stand beneath. So what is holding this up, and when it will break, it's not quite clear. I think this was really great example. So the idea in this, it's a 3D printed, but a light sculpture. And so you can see these are individually printed elements. So this is not that hard to print. It's not high. There are not much overhangs, but you place it on this. It was a maybe wooden, maybe metal frame, and use these free form for your light and shadow sculpture. And I think this is a really great example of how you can use this 3D printing method. or this example, it's yeah, terracotta and wooden structure. So the idea, these are individually printed bricks, and they, I believe, they were not attached. They were just also holding upon its own weight. So there is a wooden structure, but you just print these brick elements, and then you join it together with this wooden structure. I think this is also a great example how to use 3D printing creatively. This was one example that Matis posted today. This was, yes, it looks good. I was not able to find if it's in either powder based or was it done in a plastic 3D printing, but definitely if you would produce such elements in concrete, there would be a lot of questions how it is possible to print such a structure and how it's holding its shape. But of course there are some good. So here it's something similar to arched bridge. Here, yeah, so there are some ideas here. Maybe it is possible. That's all from me. Thank you, and good luck to all the participants.
Thank you, Mari, for the excellent presentation. We are perfectly on time. That is always also great news. And otherwise, I will give you all now a short introduction on evaluation criteria. So basically, this is extremely important. If you want to pass this section where you can work for the next 3 months on your idea, we will give you from Riga Technical University a grant of 500 euros for those teams who pass the selection, which means that 10 teams will get resources for materials, testing, printing, consultations, and also printing the final posters for the final presentations next spring. So let's, without further ado, share the screen, and then you will see all of the nice sponsors we have. So there is always a place and time to say thank you to all of them. I think we need to specially mention Sacred here because they are also supporting the laboratory. They're also providing the material for our prints. So thanks to Sacred and all of the other ones who have enabled this competition. Otherwise, moving on, the next part that is really important for you is around 5 o'clock. We will start the countdown. So just to qualify, the absolute minimum you need to do, you need to upload the PDF to this folder here. It's also in the email. Some of you didn't receive because it went to the spam, but we put it in the WhatsApp chat, so you should now be able to access that place. You will submit the presentations by uploading them till 9 o'clock. So probably it's a good idea to upload them a bit earlier because the upload itself takes some time, and we will put them, like you can see here, some presentations already. We will put them here. It's just for the jury and for us organizers. For you presenting, you will share your own screen. So in that regard, you can use your own presentation type, but for us, we need it in PDF. So you upload them in PDF. What needs to be in your presentation? Technically, you could get by with 4 slides, and the presentation is not very long. It's only 3 minutes, and we will be really strict with time. So basically, it means that you need to say what's your team name. You need to say which challenge you chose, and we will have a presentation on challenge from University of Latvia, Jānis Ploks and Helmuts Caun as next speakers. Third, you need to probably show what's your idea. It can be a sketch, can be a 3D model, can be a song. The idea how you present is up to you, but it needs to convince the jury. And the other part you need to convince the jury on is your team and the skills your team represents. One point to note here, for those of you who already read the regulations of the competition, as you noticed, you can still adjust your team till 1st of December. We put here 30th of November, but basically, in some regards, you can adjust your team. If you pass, you can add some people, maybe from other teams, etc. But we will talk about that later. The most important part for now is that you show your existing team. So the next part, the evaluation criteria themselves. So we put them here. This is actually straight out of the forms that jury will use. Basically, the main part in this part of the competition is design, idea, and aesthetics of your proposed solution. and its implementation in University of Latvia campus. So that gives you 10 points. We are not required to disclose how each jury member decided their points, but that's how important this criteria is for this specific opening competition. The second one, third one, and fourth one are the ones that will come in importance later, but we will still already look out for them. So the second one is understanding of capabilities and limitations of 3D printing technology, in this case, concrete 3D printing. So that's basically the presentation Maris just showed. The third one is idea practicality and ease of usage. So in some regards, what Maris showed you, in some regards, something you will hear from the next presentation. And the fourth point is team competence, or ability to deliver a 3D printable object. So in this part, which will become even more importantly later, especially for the last selection, you need to show that your team is capable of doing that. So you need to have like at least an idea where you will get that competence. Of course, we have our mentors that can help you. So it's not that if you don't have an engineer in your team, you will be automatically disqualified, but it's just that it's important to have at least a solution. So yes, that's the team competence. It's 5 points, so it's not the end of the, it's still some points. And at lastly, but not leastly, of course, your presentation skills also matter. So you also get 5 points for presentation quality. Otherwise, the jury is here. They will introduce themselves before the presentations start. We will give them 1 minute each. And then here's the list of order how you present, so you can check that too. Another important part to take in mind is that results will be announced next Tuesday. So it will take jury some time to arrive to a conclusion. So this afternoon around 11 o'clock we will finish the presentations, but we will have 1 winner today. That will be a team who will get a pizza, at least something. So the idea is that when you are working, you can submit your team process photos in WhatsApp till 8 o'clock, and the best team will get a pizza. Hopefully we will be able to deliver it today. Worst case, you will get it tomorrow, and it will be selected by the organizers, so that the pictures from your team. And you can choose your toppings also. So if you're a vegetarian or some other type of person, then that can be arranged. Anyhow, after that, I already sketched the team, but final team detail submission deadline is 30th of November. So that part of being able to deliver the project in next 3 months, that will become even more important. So when you send in the final team details, think long and hard. Maybe when you are looking at other people's presentations who don't make it, maybe you still can steal some people, or maybe merge some groups together, because this criteria, today we are looking mostly at ideas, but in future the team will matter a lot, because we actually need to build the objects that will win the competition in the final part. Well, I think I have talked long and hard, and it's time to let other people speak. If you have some questions, of course, feel free to dump them in the chat, and we will cover them. All of the previous lectures that have happened in this project are also available. So what Maris told us about his presentation from 26th of October, you can see it's here. There are a bit more details. There are also some questions and answers the participants asked. You can either look at it here as a presentation, or you can click on the video up there and watch it on YouTube or on Facebook. Probably some other day, because the video is an hour long, I think. So spending 1 hour for that part, no, but maybe when you start working on these 3 months, you can definitely check that too. I think we have covered most of the information. Probably the most important part, and I wanted to finish with that, is the source folder location. We sent it also in WhatsApp chat and onto your email addresses, or in this case, your spam folders. Apparently, new emails are not easy to get through. Anyhow, when you click on this link and go there, you get access to the folder that has some pictures of the location. It has also these schemes and site plans. So feel free to use that if that helps you. Also, it's not required to have a 3D model, but there are also some IFC files from the new building. But about that, we have a person, Jānis Ploks from University of Latvia campus project, who is more qualified to speak about it. And I think I will give over the rights to the screen to Jānis Ploks. UL campus architect and project director. So the screen and microphone are yours. Welcome to the competition.
Thank you, Matthijs. Hello, everyone. My name is Jānis Ploks. I will share the screen. I believe right now you already see them.
We can see the screen.
So right now in the campus we have two buildings, and I'm the director of third
Jānis,
one.
1 second. The presentation
All
shows we can see all your slides. If there is an option to go full screen, it will probably help people who are watching from iPhones or other small devices to see it better.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So again, hello, I'm director of third building, which is right now in almost erection phase. House of Letters. A small brief regarding the location. This was the area of campus at 2010. There was competition, and whole idea was in the picture you see in left hand. Regarding the changes right now, we have in position that you see in the right hand picture. There are two buildings existing, first and second, and right now we are designing and making construction on third building, which is number 3, and this is House of Letter. All these competition goods, small items, will be located near the House of Letters. Regarding the existing buildings, this is the House of Nature, the first building, which was opened in 2015. This was the first building. The second one is House of Science, and as you see, the House of Science and the House of Nature, there are a lot of concrete, and it's very nice that all these 3D printed small items and goods will be located in campus. So this is almost layers like in a 3D printed object. So this is the third building, House of Letters. So all the small items will be located somewhere here. Next slide, I will show you these small items. What Matthijs asked me to choose. These will be real items proposed by the main constructor. The first one is we decide with Matthijs to call them like a small cabin of philosophy, but actually,
Contemplation area, yes.
yeah, but actually this is the smoker cabin. I know that we cannot make shelter the roof from 3D printed concrete unless you can design that, but at least we should have the walls, the shelter, and then we can roof it. Second one is the benches. These will be located in several squares. And the third one is bicycle stands, also located very close to House of Letters, or even under the first floor canopy. Here you can see the canopy. And the fourth one, there will be some small pavilion of all next stages of academic center, and probably we would like to see some small items, some small goods which are added to that small cabin. The cabin is something like 42 square meters, and the lowest part you can see the location. Here you can see the site plan. The first, the number 1 was the smoker cabin. Second, number 2 is the benches location, and probably you will get the site plan. The 3 is the bicycle stands, and the number 4 is where the location, where is the pavilion located. Coming back here. And right now we are moving forward for the next stages, but this is not this competition. Later on, we will prepare also that this part was only the half of all campus. Right now we are holding much more lands and territory, and we are going in the further stages to develop at least 5 more buildings, and this is the idea. And right now we are in the stage of competition for all campus territory, and this is also the first imagination or sketches how will look like the whole campus. And yeah, here you can see the House of Letters, House of Nature, and House of Science. So from my side, that's it. Good luck to everyone, and any questions, do not hesitate to ask. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jan, for the presentation. I think one question that has popped up from participants is it possible to combine functions? For example, can a bench be designed with integrated bike stands?
You are welcome.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
sure.
Great to hear that. Perfect. Thank you for the nice input in the competition task. And we have one extra or bonus challenge that is available to participants. And it's from Helmut Zaune, director of the SIA Berlin Society. So Helmut, welcome to our competition, and the screen is yours.
Hello, thank you very much for the welcome, Matti. I hope everyone can see me well, and more importantly, hear me well. If that's the case, I will just share my screen. And so I really thank you for inviting SIA Berlin Society to give some contribution to the tasks or competitions of this 3D competition. And well, obviously the SIA Berlin Society is dedicated to Sir Isaiah Berlin. And while I don't doubt that many of you know who he was, it is possibility that there are some among you who don't, so it's imperative that first I briefly tell you who he was. Sir Isaiah Berlin, who lived from 1909 to 1997, was a philosopher, a worldwide famous philosopher, social and political theoretician, and historian of ideas. He was a professor at University of Oxford and the founder of Oxford's Wolfson College, and also its first president. He is known first and foremost for his staunch defending of the importance of individual liberty within a society. And in his perhaps most famous essay, and by many regarded one of the most important political works of the 21st century, The Two Concepts of Liberty, he made an important and lucid distinction between two ways we talk about individual liberty and its importance and its obstacles and also its limits throughout the history of political ideas. And he also defended the necessity to be open to different worldviews and to be tolerant towards what we don't understand. And he also promoted an idea named value pluralism. That is, in short, the admission that there is no one unifying hierarchy or structure by which we can organize all the values that are important to humans, but they are all indeducibly important next to each other, and we we are left in a predicament where we are sort of just always able to make some sort of compromises and try to somehow try to make our values coexist. But perhaps now it's not the time for extended lecture on the history of philosophy, but maybe some of you has a question popped up. Why is Isaiah Berlin important? Well, first and foremost, he's important for Riga because he was born here. He is one of the most worldwide famous citizens and natives of Riga. He was born here in 1999 and lived here, spent his childhood here until 1915, when his family fled the country during World War I. Here you can see the house on Albert Street 2A, where he lived for these years. And in 2009, a tradition was launched of, well, when Berlin turned 100, a tradition was launched to organize Isaiah Berlin Memorial Lecture every year, in which we, the organizers or citizens of Riga, invite some very prominent internationally famous speaker to give a lecture which unifies Berlin's ideas and some current actual events. But the things Berlin was about and what he defended have a lot more potential in Riga and in public space of Riga. And when thinking about the upcoming House of Letters, I think this is an old sketch that I borrowed from the internet, but I hope you'll forgive me. We have to recognize that the House of Letters will be a cluster that educational history and academic history of Latvia hasn't seen before. A cluster that will provide unite the faculty, students, professors, and academic workers and researchers from all the humanities and social sciences, philosophy, history, sociology, philology, classics, communication sciences, all within one relatively small territory where everyone will mingle, and which is in such context definitely a place where we can not only remember Berlin, but sort of also and commemorate him, but also perhaps use this space to somehow continue defending the ideas and values that he defended. And so the task that I add to this, so I won't read this text, which is sort of my standard text for this this part of competition. You can read it yourselves, but the basic idea is of imagining an object or a space that would be both commemorating of Berlin, but also functional. And well, I don't want to mix in the rules, but since somebody asked whether the functions or these objects can be combined, then perhaps also one could imagine a memorial for Berlin combined with the task of creating a space for contemplation, given that he was a philosopher and a real lover of live conversations. So that is the addition that Isaiah Berlin Society is happy to add to this competition. And if some of you will choose to embark on this task among the others, then of course we'll be happy to hear what you come up with. So thank you very much, and thank you again for having me here, and good luck with the competition.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Helmut, for the really great input, and I'm excellently happy also that we are right on time for the beginning of the competition. I will quickly go through the most important parts, and then Andre will launch the countdown timer that will show you how much time is left. While I'm doing that, you can ask the questions in the chat, either on WhatsApp or here on Zoom. The Zoom call will be left open, and some of the mentors, especially Maris, and I hope Janis too, will be here to answer if you have suddenly a question or are unsure about something. We will try to answer you. And also, as well, we will create Teams rooms for you shortly, where you can join with your team and talk privately about your idea, if you prefer that. If you are somewhere in a same room already, then probably you don't need that. But for those who are working remotely, you can use this Zoom call. It will remain open, and also, however, the live stream and recording will end. Of course, your private conversations will not be broadcasted. Otherwise, so two most important parts, you need to upload your presentations here by 9. Probably it will be like a few minutes earlier because we will start the countdown clock in like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, but roughly it's at 9 o'clock. Remember about the evaluation criteria and about the presentation. So yeah, if you choose several challenges, you can mention that, but it would be good for us in the presentation to see which challenges you chose. Maybe it wasn't that much highlighted, but there is also an option to design your own proposal or freeform sculpture. Of course, realization part would be a bit harder here, but it always has been aspiration of this competition to also push boundaries in some ways. So given that there are 3 in the final 3 prizes to get, one of those could be something that is really ambitious. So in that regard, if you have a sculpture or installation you want to propose, feel free. I think jury will appreciate that, but remember that it also has to be realizable. Anyhow, we are ready for your questions, and otherwise, remember to send in pictures from your team to win an option to get a pizza. And I am stopping the screen share, and we are starting the countdown clock. Good luck and best of wishes from us. If anyone has a question, we will look at the WhatsApp and answer them with text. I think it will be easier. So officially, you can already now begin. Get some extra few minutes to work because the clock will come up shortly. Otherwise, we are stopping the Facebook live stream, and see you all a few minutes before 9 o'clock. Hello and welcome back. We are extremely happy to see so many teams have managed to finish their presentations in such a quick and rapid pace. there is nothing like a deadline to motivate great results. Anyhow, we have something even more important to announce first. As we all know, there were two competitions. One was for the chance of winning 500 euros and a further way into the second part of the competition, which will follow now. And the other one is a chance to get a pizza, which is equally important because you need to stay hydrated and also fed. And these were the submissions which we received, and we had a really tough time of choosing which one of them was the best because they all were great. So we decided that all of the pictures which were sent in till 8 o'clock get a pizza. So congratulations. I hope you will be very happy for that. The logistics will be a bit complicated. So basically, when the presentations start, we will get in touch with each of you in order of submission of the pictures. And then we will arrange how the pizza can be delivered to you. It's actually quite late, and you probably shouldn't be eating that late. So it can also be a morning pizza if you decided that works better for you. Otherwise, let's move on to the next part, and these are the presentations. So there is a very important thing. I think not all presentations have yet been received. I understand that some uploads maybe are taking a little bit of time, but till 9 it definitely needs to be up in the folder. And the presentations here are just for us and the jury to be available, but when you present from your own screen. So you will be sharing the screen and showing the presentation. It is extremely important for you to use a watch or a phone or a tablet in order to see how many time you have left. So put a timer next to you. I will also be checking, but it's extremely important that you stay in the 3 minutes that are allocated for you. So teams with 18 slides can be a little bit challenging. We will be holding our thumbs for you. Otherwise, what else do I have to say here? I suppose one of the eliminations is if we will not receive the works, then some teams will be automatically, but so far it looks promising. We will mark the teams where we haven't received any news red, probably. But let's go forward with our jury, and we will give each jury member 1 or 2 minutes to probably emphasize what part or criteria from the evaluation they will more focus on. And we have a very great jury panel. We will start with Professor Indritis Muiznieks from University of Latvia, then with Uģis Bratušs. Oh, okay, I will probably announce first and then follow with the others, but I will stop screen sharing right now so we can see us full screen. So as the first jury member, Professor Indritis Muiznieks, maybe you want to say a few words. What qualities will you be looking towards when evaluating students' works, mostly? Okay, while Professor is still thinking, we will continue with the next jury member, and we'll allow him to tell it the last. So, Uģis Bratuškins, if you are here, maybe you can say which criteria are most important for you.
Hey everyone, that's fine to meet you all here in this remote environment. So I believe that everybody is very strong to demonstrate the ideas. And what regards me, since I'm coming from Faculty of Architecture of Riga Technical University, I'm in particular interested in design solution and idea, and as well as any kind of creative exposures of your idea. So have a very good luck and be ready.
Very good. Thank you. Next one is Maris Schinke from 3D Concrete Printing Laboratory.
Yeah, thank you. I guess most of you may understand what are my main concerns in this competition. So, of course, understanding capabilities and limitations of 3D printing technology will be my main topic. But of course, idea, practicality, ease of use will also, I will focus on this one also. Thank you.
Thank you for being very concise. Elina Mikkelson, Innovation Institute Creativity Trainer. What will you looking be for? I think the name already explains a little bit.
Yes, hello, honorable ladies and gentlemen. I will look for innovations and crazy, wild, and remarkable ideas here. And as we understand, to implement ideas and innovations, we need great teams. So the team and the competence mix is also something that I would like to highlight in your presentation. So I wish you all the best.
Excellent, thank you. Marja Spoch, Head of Infrastructure Department, what will be your priorities? I think Marjas is also still thinking. When we get him back, we will ask him. Meanwhile, Jānis Bloks, then from Rakstamaya project coordinator. Andre, I will give you the phone. You can probably call. Marjas, here you go.
Good evening. I really hope everything went well. So we are in the just the beginning of great ideas. So my name is Jānis Bloks. As Matis mentioned, I'm director of House of Letter, but originally I'm architect as well. So I will look as an architect, not as a director of House of Letters. So I will chase for attractive idea. This is the first, and secondary, this idea would be as the source or base object, and I will try and look how further on we can expand these ideas and get additional small items for the campus. This would be the two objectives. So, thank you.
Very good. So you will be wearing several hats in this competition. Awesome. So I understand we have Marjas here. Marjas, you can say which criteria from the competition you will be most interested in evaluating, what you are looking for in students' presentations. He's still connecting. Well, then I suppose while we are connecting everyone, we can quickly go through the last part, and it's about the questions. So given that there are a lot of presentations for the jury members, I would recommend asking the questions only if you don't understand something. Maybe there was something that was said too quickly or some information missing. Otherwise, we can definitely type some comments into the common Zoom chat. So basically, if there is a question or a comment, we can type it in, because we will not have much time for questions among student presentations. If you want to finish by 11 o'clock, then we probably need to be quite frugal with our question time. And let's check if we have the jury members finally connected. Andre, okay, I think we will start the presentations, and or at least we can go through the list of the themes, and that will give us 1 or 2 minutes. So the first theme that presents will be Dišpārdoklis. The second theme after that will be FFF-F. Although we don't have a presentation yet, we will check if it's uploaded. Then is the new theme, and then is SCS, Limonade, Only, KGT, FRA, B98, Question Form, Prolis and Co, Theme PG. After that, Re.R. After that, Architects. After that, Gym. Then VCF, XYZ, LV Art, 3D Cement, North Artisans, Eco Printer, Una Lidera, Crazy Idea, Krish Berskalns, Dāvis Vaivats, Roberts Jansons, Lars Krause. And for my team members or participants who are on the other sides of the screen, Elina and Andra, when you check the WhatsApp chat, and if you see if there's a team who is not presenting, mark the team red. So basically, that way I will know that I will skip it and there is not a presentation submitted. Otherwise, I hope that everyone is ready, and we already are a few minutes past the starting time. I would ask the first team, which is Dišpārdoklis, to put on the screen sharing. I will stop sharing my screen and check their watches. I will also put the timer on here so I can follow along your timekeeping schedules. And if you are ready, then we will say start, and then the countdown will start. So the readiness is from you. When you start, I will start the countdown.
Okay, I will just start.
Yeah, definitely.
Presentation. Can you hear me well?
We can hear you very well, and the floor is yours.
Great. Okay. Yes. And I think we can start right now.
Good.
Have you ever imagined how can we preserve the identity of University of Latvia in this culturally diverse age? Our team defined three main things that defines University of Latvia, and those things were based on the new houses: nature, science, and literature. Our team Dišpārdoklis decided to give solution to these challenges: contemplation area, bicycle stand, and bench. And our dia contains of Latvia University national symbol, an oak tree. We decided to make a bicycle stand with a bench combined thing, and we decided to make an artistic effect of oak tree that you can see from above, but from the pedestrian side it will see as Latvian symbols. And as you can see, our idea contains Latvian symbols, a concrete bench, and a Latvian University symbol oak. Our idea is to make a 3D printable chairs and beton casted bricks that you can put on the ground. As you can see, those benches will be modular because you cannot print the whole bench in the whole size, and it will contain an outer layer and concrete ribs too. And those concrete things will have a LED lighting to make this whole environment more user-friendly. And our team was completed from different kind of specialists. We have several CAD specialists, 3D printing specialists, building, electronic specialists, and people with some kind of artistical thinking. We are not artists, but we are engineers. So our idea was practically based. And thank you for your attention. Have you any questions?
Thank you for staying on time perfectly. That's already a great skill. And for the questions, yes, if the jury has a quick question, we have 2 minutes for the questions. If anyone has, you can raise your hand, and then we will give you ability to speak. It looks like there are no questions, which is really good because we have a lot of presentations. It means that probably you presented everything very clearly. And if there's still some appear, you can put them in the chat. Otherwise, thank you again for the great presentation. And the next team for
Mate.
Yeah, there is 2 questions I see. Jānis Fox and Maris Sinka.
1 second, I think my screen doesn't show you, but yes, definitely go ahead. And then next time you can just ask. Don't raise the hand. It will probably be easier. Yes.
Mari, please.
Okay, I wanted to specify the idea of those concrete casted bricks that was next to the bench. So it's like it was a stack of concrete tiles. So it was a lighting element, or what was the idea? So,
Yeah.
so your idea is the bench plus the tiles, but the tiles were also on top of tiles. What?
Yeah, the idea, the main idea that we couldn't make like realistic right now is to use shadow art of these concrete piles. And the thing is that we wanted to use the sun to create a shadow that will make an oak tree in the end, and modern, robust, I think you can call it maybe cubism style oak in the end. Yeah, and it will have a lighting element to make to make light in the evening, like street lighting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My question regarding the weight, what is the estimated weight for the bench together with bicycle stand?
Yeah, we haven't thought. We do not have any calculations for the weight, but we think that it will look massive, but it will have a shallow inside, and we do not have a render of it. But our idea was to make a not plywood, but a massive wood like strips on it, and we will use this concrete 3D printed concrete as a stand just for those wooden things.
Okay, thank you for the great prepared presentation. The question time is very much over, and thank the jury for the interest. I suppose technical details will be more worked out in the next stages of the presentation. So today we are more focused on the idea and creativity, maybe ability to print it. Anyhow, a large round of virtual applause is the team FFF-F. We are ready for your presentation. The team head is, I guess, Helvi Savickis or Julia Obleiner. We did receive your presentation. I will repeat.
Hello. Hello. I'm so sorry. I just changed the computers and accidentally switched off all the programs with everything. Can we start in 20 seconds because my computer is...
we can put you as a next team. We will just switch you off.
Thank you. Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
You so
yes, stay strong. So the team after FFF is the new team. And the team head here is Cynthia Ert. Cynthia, if you are ready, we are ready for you and your presentation.
Okay, can you see me and can you hear me?
Yes, and we are starting the countdown now.
So we are a new team. My name is Cynthia, and together with Lars and Vasileo, we created this proposal for this competition. So the challenge we chose is bench and Professor Berlin's memorial. So university is the way to the knowledge. For centuries, the knowledge has been passed on through the books. So we need a book. Introducing the interactive book to sit on and to listen to Mr. Berlin and other professors' knowledge. So we went through a massive process of sketching, and this is the end result. So imagine this book. As we know, usually we look at books, we read books, and in this case, what if someone else reads it for us? So we already thought this process through integrating some sound systems into this installation, maybe even to print out some titles, some letters. And as we know, this installation is going to be right next to the House of Letters in Latvian Rakstamāja. So we kind of wanted to play around with this topic. So as a rendering, you can see how do we imagine people sitting on this bench, which also is this piece that is going to be like a dedication for Mr. Berlin. We thought that he would quite enjoy this because it would be adapted not only with a comfortable seating, with creative design, with sound system, but also with lighting. We plan to add some Latvian traditional signs as signs meaning the House of Letters, Rakstamāja. We want to kind of interact it together to kind of represent these Latvian values. So this could be a pleasure not just to sit on, but also to see at night. So almost all the books have bookmarks. So this is Latvian bookmark that we imagined there to have. So knowledge, new landmark, and Latvian culture are the additional values for our idea. My name is Cynthia, and I'll be taking care of design and project management. My colleague Lars is going to be taking care of lighting and non-standard solutions, and our Greek colleague will take care of construction engineering. So all us three have sufficient knowledge in our skills. So together, combining all of our knowledge, we will be able to create this idea into reality. Thank you.
Perfect. 4 seconds left. Excellent, excellent. Very great time management skills. Jerry, let's also keep let's also keep excellent time management. You have 2 minutes. If anyone has a question, yes, Indukis moves next. The microphone is yours.
Thank you. What was this rather impressive band of tiles coming out of the bench? I didn't get it. What was it meant? So there was such a ribbon of tiles coming out of the bench. Is it something real, or is that just a demonstration that there will be some sound coming out of it? It's not like a small tiles ribbon coming out from this book-like bench.
Yeah, okay. I hope I got your question right. So that represents the bookmark. My source of inspiration, you can see right here. So we imagine, of course, with our mentors' help, we imagine to implement different ways of how we can realize these concrete elements. So obviously, like the one you asked, if I'm correct, for the bookmark, as we call this a bookmark, it will consist of small pieces of separately printed out types, small symbols, Latvian signs, and then they'll be put together. As we saw in Mari's presentation, if we create this arch that all the elements have been supported by their own weight, it could be realized in this way or any other. Our team member, which is responsible for construction, he approved it.
It's really good. And the time is over. Yes. So the next questions. But Jerry, if you have any comments, you can put them in the chat too, so students will receive them and can answer them independently. Anyhow, the next theme, or in this case, the previous theme, 3Fs-F, we are ready for you. Let's hope the computer works this time.
Hello. Should work now. So as you already mentioned, we're the FFFF. Let me share it. Can you see? Window, view, full screen mode. Can you see, guys?
Yes, we can see and hear you, and we are starting the countdown now.
So the garden of the concrete dreams. There's 2 things. One is a dream and one is a garden. Free-form sculpture or installation. We like the garden. Garden means a fence that is enwrapped territory. And this we will be using, and we will have a fence and one very fuzzy object. Let me tell you about these 2 holes. It is an oven. Underneath hole, you place inside the wood. And on the left side, you can place in so-called barbecue, shashlik, or any kind of lovely grilled vegetables. On the rest of the platform, we can hang out. Another more interesting image, what kind of meals could be served, and it would be used platform just to hang out. And here you can see the opening for the smoke coming in. So we're very curious and interested how the fire could be reacting with the concrete. Could we start to make our traditional Latvian ovens out of 3D printed concrete? Would that be an idea? What does this kind of fence mean? Fence is a technology we would want to try out. It is a fabric laid down on the floor, and different kind of patterns are printed on top of it, different kind of intensities. And so we want to create this enclosed space with this occasionally possibility of doing barbecue or shashlik. Of course, the shape is adapted to the seating height of 40 centimeters and with a different kind of various cases, so people can enjoy and find out their most comfortable position to sit in. Here it was burning. So here you can see the slices in which kind of segments we could be dividing this whole block in order to make it possible for the 3D printing. A bit more, this fence technology is completely new. We have not even seen a reference, but we wanted to try out kind of weird semi-open closed wall where the concrete pigments, we could have a control over these concrete pigments. This would be this kind of final site plan sketch, you know. So in the middle is this, and the walls are partly covering it up. Team, Adrian, Kelvis, Julia, Tuoms, and Victor, thank you a lot for your attention.
Perfect. Excellent time management here as well. And Margers is the first person with raised hand.
Do you really believe in barbecue in the center of university campus?
Thank you for your question. I just was 3 weeks ago in Helsinki, Aalto University. And that is a very vast campus that we could take a great example of. You know what else they have? Not just barbecue. They have 5 positions of saunas. They have a chill out rooms, and they have so many barbecue places, and no one is harmed. I would recommend to look at one of the top university complexes called Aalto University. Thank you.
Very good. We have time for another question. If there is no, we will switch to the next theme. We don't have time. Okay, great. Thank you, Helvis. It was perfect. And the next theme is, let's zoom in and out, a theme named SCS. And the team lead is Arturs Churakovs. The floor is yours. We are ready for you. After the SCS, the next theme will be Limonade or only. Limonade, I think, was disqualified. Could be.
Okay. So, hi, do you see the presentation?
Yes, we can see and hear you, and we are starting the countdown now.
Okay, so our team name is Sustainable Concrete Solution, or SCS, and it's a known fact that the building sector produces around 38% of all CO2 emission. Concrete is one of the main building materials and will continue to be for a long time. So we have to find a way to reduce emission that concrete creates. So the idea is to choose installation that would bring attention to this problem. And the thing that comes in mind when we talk about CO2 reduction is the forest and trees. And luckily, this symbol is shown also in Latvian University's symbol. So our idea is to print interactive concrete tree and place it in the center of recreational area of new building. We hope to use special concrete recipe with a lower integrated CO2 footprint for the trunk and the branches. And we would like to make as well impregnated leaves with the concrete on the material. So the idea is as well the tree should illuminate light using renewable energy, which would be obtained from solar panels in the leaves, on the leaves. Leaves would be also movable, and they would give a like life effect. So we're the perfect team for this design. We have an automation engineer, architect, and concrete engineer. So I'm the concrete engineer, so I mostly know everything about concrete. We have the guy that will draw everything, and we have automation engineer Lars that can make everything possible with electricity and lights and installations like that. And that's about it. Thank you.
Awesome. I think you're the most efficient team. You submitted the presentation first and also had the quickest presentation. Jan, if yes, you can ask the question.
Thank you. So the main function is a cluster of benches, as I understood. You are sitting on this
on the tree. No, it was the last we have installation and sculpture, so it's just our.
So the tree is vertically standing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just tree like a live tree.
Thank you. Do we have any other question? I think not. Then we can move next to the next team. Very good. Maybe we will catch the schedule if all teams are that efficient. The next team is Only, and the team lead is Anna-Liiva Trauman. We are ready for you. I can see you and hear you, and now we can see the presentation too.
Hello, we are Team Only. We choose to create a freeform installation that could be used as an attraction point or outdoor meeting space for University of Latvia campus. We believe that this could be a great place for outdoor study or to hold small-scale workshops, an ideal place for after parties or unofficial meetings.
Yeah, so the object is like a small-scale pavilion. It consists of 4 merged cylinder-shaped objects that are slightly curved and conical. So you can see here that you can enter in it, take a seat, or just walk through it.
The really important part of the structure is the portals, as we call them. They present unique and different views of the landscape around them. So the object, even if you're inside, you're connected with outside, but you stay private. For now, we propose the object in the main large plot next to the House of Letters.
Yes, here you can see the sites.
But this is a matter of change if the project will be developed further. As an way to create it, we propose to create separate blocks with layered extrusion and then filled with concrete and with a hole in them so they can be stacked on the column structure like you see now. Basically, there are column structure and the blocks are separately printed and stacked vertically. Object by itself is self-supporting structure.
And here you can see the floor plan and the section and the approximate dimensions of the object.
Our team consists of 3 people. We are architect, designer, and artist. Sadly, the artist couldn't be this late, but we do 3D modeling and slicing and printing daily. We have good project and time management skills, and we do many good stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for the great presentation. Also excellent time management. And do we have a question from the jury? Maris turned on the camera, but I don't. Oh, Janis asked the first person, so we'll give Janis the option to ask. But yeah.
I do not have any question. I just like.
Okay, good, perfect. Yeah, we just also liked. So Maris has a question.
Yeah, my question was, so you entered the pavilion through the hall, or there was some? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
But it can maybe possibly change. Yeah, maybe not all the people can enter through halls. So I don't know. Maybe change it. Maybe to be more inclusive. I understand the idea is nice, but yeah, that might not be the most effective way. But I really liked it. Thank you.
We'll probably have 3 months for that, so
yeah.
Let's hope so. Okay, awesome. So the next team after this team is team KGT, and after that it will be FRA or FRA. So let's start with KGT. Team lead Jānis Vevers, and the digital floor is yours.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen and we can hear you, and we are starting the countdown now.
Okay. Hello, my name is Yanis, and me and my teammates, Toms and Katrina, decided to work on the bench. So firstly, we looked for references that would best match the existing environment and the one to be planned. And what we came up with was a solution where the bench would work as a place to sit, lay down, as well as stand under. So it would be weather resistant, as well as protect the person from wind, whilst keeping kind of a wave form. We decided to place these benches on top of the green spaces within the territory so that the person sitting there would be more connected with the nature. In this small sketch, you can see the functions that we envisioned for this bench. As I mentioned, it could be sitting, laying down, as well as staying under when there's rainfall. And we plan to make these benches kind of separate so that, knowing Latvian culture, you could sit further away from one another if that's what you prefer. In this little axonometric sketch, you can see more visually how we plan to place these benches, and they could be accessed from the ground level, but would be a bit raised on these kind of sandboxes in which there would be grass as well as trees and other things. As for our team, we are three architecture students, and obviously our experience is mostly in architecture, but we do work with 3D modeling as well as rendering. So with the appropriate mentorship and possible additions to our team later on, we see that we could make this bench reality. Thank you for your attention.
Excellent, perfect. Thank you for the great time balance. And we have a question from Yanis.
Thank you for presentation. The question is, you showed something like 5 or 4 items. These are identical items, or they are different ones?
First of all, we thought that we could vary them a little bit, but if it's necessary, they can be the same item as well. It would be more interesting to make each of them individual, but it depends on how easy it would be to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question and the answer. I don't see any more hands, so we are moving forward with the next team, which is Fra, and after that we have B98. So Fra, Egils, we are ready for your presentation.
Mute. Hello, can you hear me? All good?
We can hear you, see you, and we are starting the countdown.
Perfect. So, ni hao, what's I hao, what's I chongguo. I am currently talking from China, and that's not by a chance, by an accident. That's a design thing, because we believe that we can connect things together. And one of the main things we are willing to connect is to connect people by having a place where to sit together, having a place where to relax from active lifestyle, from cycling, and also a place where to enjoy some artistic perspectives, which by combining different perspectives, Chinese, Latvian, European, American, that's something we can come up with and enjoy. So our proposal is based on this philosophical idea that time is dynamic, it's fluid, it's very often abstract and relative, and yet again, it's very sharp and unforgiving. So there are things that you can turn around and make them better, but then again, there are some things that you spill out like a water, like we in Latvia say. And yet, this time concept to our minds is very similar to the concrete idea itself. So it's unforgiving, sometimes sharp, and can be abstract. We did some designs with very close material to concrete, which is the plastiline, the foldable thing. We did some cutouts just to show our insights, and we came up with an idea to possess and place this object over here, which is a on the north side of the new coming structure, which is over here. We had a chance to position this location in two places which were offered. One was the philosopher place for smoking, another one was over here. However, when we did analysis of the site, we just saw that this location over here, just on the south part of this triangle, is a little bit more attractive because it has the area in front and also has this place where you can see it from different perspectives. In our case, it's a 15-meter wide, roughly. And also it has a future-proof ability to maybe have some extra seats, extra stalls for the bikes around the location. So this is also a good, nice location from the perspective of the sun positioning. So it's facing south where there is the building that protects from the hot sun in the summer. And then we still have the west and east sun. And also there is this bike line over here, which also to our mind is very visible from different perspectives. So it's a place where to sit and also notice this place to get off the big track. So the idea is to have the seat printed vertically, so we can have the vertical crease, which is good for the water drainage, which is good for the printing machine as well, because we have this 80 centimeters Z axis, and it basically looks like this in very fast renderings. And I believe 3 minutes are over right now.
Exactly. Exactly on point. So yes, time is not fluid, it's very concrete. Thank you, Erwin and Egils, for your presentation. Jerry, do we have any questions? I think I can't see your hands, but if you can, okay, there are no hands. That's why I can't see them. Very good. Then let's move over to the next presentation. The next presentation is from the team B98, and after that we have a team question form. So B98 is Davis Jansons. Davi, we are ready with your presentation.
Just a moment.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will start the countdown when you start speaking.
Hello, this is team B98 with me, Davis Johnsons, and Justin Christotiro. Our concept is concept fortification, literally. The design is inspired from the historical fortification, making it reborn in new meaning. Knowledge is our fortification, and this is one of the nodes of forts of knowledge in Riga. So these are the challenges that we took part on in bench, and everything you can see there. And the main printing part is a 3D printed brick, which you couldn't print by other classical means. It also could be pigmented, and dimensions can vary from printer to printer, so making it adjustable by design. And this is the 3D brick turned 90 degrees and stacked together, so it could be used as a bench or a place for people to sit. Also, furthermore, to continue, this structure is specifically designed to make a 3D pavilion, which shields people from the weather and also allows people to sit here on the benches. So these are the 3D renderings of our pavilion. The structure is quite simple. It dates really early back, so the whole structure is holding on itself. And this is the 3D printed pavilion at night, if we manage to put a light in there. And this is how it would look from the inside. And the main location is here at the front, at the main square, or it could be even at a free space or near the nature. And this is our team. Here's Justin Christotiro. She's an interior designer at the Latvian Art Academy. And this is me. I'm an architect studying currently in a master course in Riga's Technical University. Our knowledge is into 3D printing, only a small scale models, but we can probably also make big ones. Okay, thank you.
Let's say you should need to make a big one. Anyhow, Margers has the first question. Here you
What
go.
would be the purpose of this structure?
The purpose for people to sit in, have a rest, and to be outside, and not to be outside right from the sky or weather. Yeah, and the purpose is quite flexible.
So I think the first
no roof. No roof.
No, there is a roof. There's this opening. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, but we are planning to put glass over it.
Okay.
For it to let the sun go in, but no rain.
Very interesting. Indriķis Mužnieks has a question.
The question is the first, of course, it seemed me that you're talking about team 98. The low was at 89. Probably just an upward mistake. But what I wanted to say, what is, have you calculated at least approximately what is the strength of those fragile, apparently fragile looking structures? Would they hold their weight, and how it can be calculated?
This is thank you. This is a very good question. For this design, this is just a sketch of our ideas. For the start, probably the lower parts of the brick should be like double-sided, printed, and we actually have to consult a constructor for this, because we are designers, and we probably will need help with this. But for the design, it's the design, so it's round, and every brick sits on each other. And okay, I'm going to share a screen because it will be easier to explain.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, so here the brick is square, but it has like these triangles in it. And every square, which is here, sits on each other. So the whole force of load goes through triangles and to the ground. And this also has an opening for people to get in. And yes, I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
I think you did. Very good. Thank you everyone for the questions. And we are moving over to the next theme. The next theme is question form. And after that, we will have a theme that is called Prolis and Co. We will start with question form, and the lead is Uģis Albiņš. We are ready for your presentation. We can see the presentation. We cannot hear you yet, but probably we soon will.
Hey.
Great.
Hello, everybody. So we are the team question form. My name is Elsa.
My name is Uģis.
And we came up with two ideas. One is a free-form sculpture or installation, and the second one is a bench.
So yeah, we came down to the idea that Latvian University would need a tool or an art object, and combining these things together, we figure out to make a water drainage system, but not to make it a practical one, but to make it more as just a playful manner to drainage water, and maybe also to feed the plants that's in there. So the sketches really fast were made like this. And the forms are also made modeled regarding 3D printed necessities and specifications, and maybe the good idea would be to print them upside down. And yeah, it would be nice to use the Art Nouveau styles in these forms and to combine them. And the second thing is a bench, and this structure is just a wooden piece that is that came out from the sea, and maybe continue.
Yes, the idea is to take something smaller in size scan it, edit it in a 3D software, and print it in larger scale. And about our team and skills, we are both students. This is a master graduate at Art Academy of Latvia. I'm still a student there. We have more than 7 years experience of working with 3D modeling, 3D printing, additive manufacturing, generating forms, creating designs and concepts, and being involved in national heritage conservation and restoration, also material research, and also making some installations, working with different kinds of materials in a physical form, including concrete as well. Thank you.
Thank you. You're perfectly on time, and I really liked how you implemented sketches in the presentation. Let's see if we have any questions from the jury members. There are no questions, which means the presentation is excellent, and let's follow on with the next theme, which is Prolis and Co. After that, the next theme will be PG. So Prolis and Co. Gustavs Prolis, we are ready for your presentation. The floor is yours.
Oh, can you hear us?
Yes, and we can see you starting the countdown.
So hello, my name is Evia and this is Gustavs. So basically we are team Prolis and Co. And we chose a bench and maybe free-form installation, maybe like a bench complex in a recreation and seating area, which stands in middle of this territory.
So basically the idea came to us as an inspiration from the Czech Republic, where they made a parkour area with different elements which come together as one. So we thought, what could be better than to represent Latvian University complex, than to make something with the logo or the main symbol of Latvian University. So basically that's what we did. We took the concept of this installation and
we made our idea. So basically,
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is our idea. So our idea is that in the parameter of this installation is made up of concrete benches, which are topped with wooden planks or wooden boards or something comfortable to sit on. And in the middle, we propose flower beds to fill up space and also to make the landscape more colorful. Also, we propose the use of different types of stone.
Concrete brick stones.
Exactly. Yeah, this is from another angle. This is more like from the from a
angle, yeah.
From an upper angle. If you would be looking at it from, for example, from a window. So our team, I'm Gustavs, as you know, and I'm a construction engineer, and my experience is in architecture and also team management.
So my name is Evie, and I am a student and studying landscape architecture and planning for the 5th year already. And my experience is in landscape architecture, gardening. I'm working as a gardener too, and of course, territorial planning.
So in my opinion, what is our biggest advantage is that we have worked, we're working with a full-scale 3D printer, which is seen on the right, which is actually very large. And we've been working with it for 2 months now. And we have some knowledge of limitations and the potential of what can be done with this technology. And we know how to make it happen, basically. Yeah. I hear the time is over.
Yes, exactly. Right on the last word. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Last I checked, University of Latvia campus had a lot of windows, so it's really nice that someone also thinks how the object looks from the top. Do we have any question from the jury?
Yeah, I have a question regarding the benches. So you showed the parkour park. Do you think that you are printing the benches and you're filling with concrete, or just you can leave only the frame? And second part, the form was that it remains straight when it raises vertically, but you had this like from your printing side that it has some curve. Do you think that these benches will be only free form from when you look from upside, or how do you envision that part?
Exactly, yeah. They would be vertical, but the question you asked first was the logistics of actually printing it. So our idea is that when you build the first layer, you fill it in, and all the subsequent layers are only the parameter. So when you flip it over, it's you cannot drop anything through it, so there's no pileup of mess inside of it, and you can safely attach wooden boards or basically wooden structures to comfortably sit on. Yep, thank you. I hope I've answered your question.
Perfect. Thanks for the question and the answer. And the question time is over. The next theme is PG. After that, we have re.ar. So PG, attendes, if you are ready, we are too. There is also Digis Krogzems in the team. Let's see. Okay, so we are putting them to the end of the presentations. Apparently there is an issue with computers. So the next team, re-R, I hope you are ready. And after the re-R, we have architects. So a team of architects. Very good. I see that re-R is here. We are ready for your presentation.
Good evening. Yes.
Yeah, good evening, guys.
So, can you see in the screen?
Yes, we can see and hear you, and starting the countdown.
Perfect. So, good evening. We are team R. My name is Reinis, and together I'm in this team with Arturs. On a daily basis, we both work in the architectural field, and tonight we would like to present to you our concept for free-form sculpture, which would also serve as a manifest for one of the great Latvian-born philosophers, Isaiah. One of the main ideas which was related with Isaiah was liberty and liberty of self-development. And to know what is right for yourself, you must also understand your surroundings and culture and history. And the way you learn these ideas is by using your hands. And by learning some of the hand gestures, you can more easily understand and navigate the world around you. And in many countries, the same gesture could mean different or opposing things. And by building this installation, we will provide students, staff, and visitors of Latvia University the place to learn and practice some of the common known hand gestures. And we provide this idea of an art piece that you can interact with by manually or automatically adjusting the finger positions. This way you can express your emotions and start a dialogue using hand gestures.
So here you can see site plan and the perspective view of our proposal. Sculpture location is centered in relation to surroundings, so everyone will be able to see and keep this visual connection with it during the day. From technical point of view, geometry will consist of three main parts, which will be fingers, joints, and palms. In singularity. So static parts will be made of 3D printed concrete, and connection will be ensured by additional infills of metal or wooden elements. But at the same time, to increase interaction possibilities of the object, we assume to add additional automation features for fingers. So all inhabitants and visitors can easily express their emotions and senses of unique surroundings of the building. And like a conclusion of our presentation, we would like to say that up to this moment, Latvian University has been scattered across different parts of Riga, and hand and its 5 fingers will be a great symbol of United University, knowledge, learning, and ideas of Isaiah Berlin. So thank you.
Extremely well done. Perfect timing. Thanks for the presentation. And we have the first question from Madjers.
Yes.
It's a great idea, but do you believe it could be made of concrete?
We believe so, yes. We definitely need to figure out the best hinges for the connections of the finger small parts. But yeah, definitely the palm part would be the easier one to print. But I think we will manage to find a way to do it.
Yeah, also we have very curious friends who are good at the technical and construction point of view. So we are curious to find all those limitations to the testing process.
Well, thank you for your answers and the presentation. And the next team is architects. So team architects gets ready. The next team after that will be Jim. So Vladimir's, we are ready for your presentation.
So hello, do you see something?
Yes, we see your screen and we are starting the countdown.
Okay, hello, our team is architects, and first thing that we wanted to say it is that we are glad to participate in this competition. And the next, in this competition, we were chosen only 2 challenges. It is benches and contemplation area. So we would like to start from the bench. So what do you see here? You see here parametric benches that looks like that's made in one form, but actually it's created from one object that is only rotated 180 degrees and connected and making this line of the parametric smooth form benches. It means that by this type of the creating benches, we can create those long those we want, and it is will always looking like one piece of the benches. As well, we get the inspiration for these benches from the as well existing building, Latvia University, the Science of the House, House of the Science. That facade is as well parametric and smooth and modern. And we would like to see that in the Latvian University territory is as well those modern and smooth part benches. As well, in the benches, you are not sitting on the concrete, but the idea is that you are sitting on the wood little beams, and there as well is able to put some grass or some flowers, some green. For example, here in the right up corner, we can see the part that is actually rotated in the 180 degrees, and then it's connected and created the line of the this bench. The next thing that we are created, it is contemplation area. Actually, this is like a smoking area. There's a philosophy idea that it looks like a curtain, because the type of the curtain, the idea of the curtain is to hide. And here we can hide the ideas and philosophy things that is happening in this place. As well, we can see that it is right now only like the concrete made it, but as well it is able to create the roof that is for the safety created from the wood or some other very weak material. And about our team, here team is Vladimir Sandersons and Navi Gupta. Unfortunately, Navi Gupta today can't be participate in this competition, so I was taken one other guy that is as well complicated as me. I am an architecture faculty student from Riga Technical University in the 3rd course, and I know the 3D modeling in Revit, ArchiCAD, Rhino, and Grasshopper as well for the parametric things, and this was used for create the benches. So I see the time is out. Thank you for attention.
Well done, well done. We never thought it's actually possible to pitch several ideas in 3 minutes. Very good. Do we have questions from the jury? Yes, there is a question from Magders.
Yeah, it's a nice design, but should we support the smoking? Really?
It was a task. You have to ask Yanis Block. We asked him several times how to better name it, but he said it's part of the new proposal. So it is an official task that was given to the students. Yes. We had discussions about it.
Yeah, but the idea of the curtain is good, but not for smoking.
Yeah, as well. It could be for the chilling if you want it.
I should admit that this is first idea of philosopher shelter. So thank you for that. And afterwards, only about smoking duties.
Perfect. Very good. Okay, so yeah, I think in the follow-up 3 months we can figure it out. But yes, the next team after architects is VCF, because Jim has no entry, and after VCF we have XYZ. So team VCF, we are ready for your presentation. Valdemar Stefansons, the screen is yours.
Okay, so let's share the screen.
We can see the screen.
Hello, everyone. We are Team Habitat, and we choose the challenge of freeform sculpture. And it's actually a combination of a lot of ideas. So it's cohabitation and learning from natural world, openness and tolerance. And we are inspired by forms that can be discovered in nature, such as rock formations and columnar jolting and different kind of patterns that come from natural design. So we are thinking about the freeform sculpture that learns from these designs, and they are embodied in the patterns of natural world. So we are thinking about the sculpture that is created from many cells and learns from natural design. And the theme of habitation and cohabitation is the idea that we want to invite plant life and also animal life in this sculpture. So this is one of the main challenges of our civilization at this time, how to cohabitate with natural world. So this sculpture is a kind of artistic attempt to do that. So ideally, we can invite and plant some moss or green plants within a sculpture, or maybe it can serve as a kind of place for birds that are numerous in our city and that habitat near the river Daugava. So these are habitations of birds in natural world. And the way the sculpture is produced, it is produced from individual elements that are joined together and connected with post-tensioning, so that all this sculpture is held together. So the individual elements are, of course, made by 3D printing. And so from technical point of view, it's quite simple to make them in a small size and then connect them with modular joints to form the sculpture together. So right now we are a team of 2 people together with Krish Barskals, and our main competence is to make things happen. We both have experience in art and design and 3D modeling and 3D printing and sculpture and all the things that is needed to make this happen. However, we still have open positions in our team. And namely, we want to collaborate with biologists, hopefully from Latvian University, to better suit the idea for plants and possibly animal life. And also, we would like to collaborate with architectural engineer to better design the structure and the strength and the tension system.
Valdemar, the time is over. I can give you 10
Thank
more
you for attention.
Yes, yes.
Any questions?
Yes, do we have any questions? Margers has a question.
Yeah, it's a nice design, but do you believe the birds won't shit on this design?
I think it's invited, but
No, actually, I don't believe. I believe quite the opposite. Like if we look at the bird cliffs in nature, you know, they're usually quite dirty. But you know, this is a part of the nature, and we can find a nice place for the sculpture, either in some meadow or maybe on the rooftop or in a place. You know, it's more like an open question that we can and discuss together with the bird biologists. That's a kind of experimental and open design of cohabitation.
I really like that usually people put it as elements that put nature away, like in our freedom monument, and this type we actually kind of reverse the psychology. Really great.
This is the idea, and I think also the place within Latvian University is just right to ask these questions and pose these designs.
Awesome. Do we have any more questions from the jury? It looks that not. We have.
Yeah, just a small comment. I really like the idea for the birds. I think you will not be able to attract the large sea or river birds with that top. You need maybe the roofs of University of Latvia is actually really good for the Arctic terns that were previously on Resesnams needs a new place, and actually University of Latvia could be a good place to relocate. So that could be an idea, but I think you would need a smaller halls for these birds that live in like burrows or svīres. They like these smaller halls, so you maybe need some smaller halls in that, and you could attract those birds definitely.
Yes, this is actually the idea, to kind of design the size according to the birds that could possibly be interested in living there. And yeah, that's why we are looking forward to collaborate with the biologists.
Well, thank you for the questions, and thank you for the presentation and the answers. And also, the good news is that with this drastic time management technique, we have caught up with the schedule, and no one should feel bad about themselves now. We still need to be strict, but at least we will finish when we planned to finish. So that is good. Otherwise, the next team is XYZ. And after that, we have a team that is called LV Art. So team XYZ, Jakub Zindrovsky, we are ready for your presentation.
Yep, let me just bring it up right now. You see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen.
Perfect. Okay, so we are XYZ, and we have chosen the sculptural project. What we wanted to do is create a sense of location. So for our proposal, what we will create is multiple cylindrical light structures with concrete printing. What we want to do is design structural failure. And so this can be accomplished through designing the embedded steel structure and exposure points in the concrete 3D printing. What this does is allow time and material to play a larger role as an element to be perceived through erosion. And so creating temporality. So just as the university and environment around it will change, so too will the structure. And so the project will be myself and Sabine. And my background is specifically in design engineering, and I've worked in footwear, apparel, architectural elements, consumer goods, and have done a master thesis in concrete printing. And Sabine herself, she has done work with machine composites and worked for Sebe and White Void that specifically does cultural installations. Thank you.
Well, this is a record. Very good, very professionally well done. And do we have questions from the jury?
Okay, I will ask a question. So, how long time do you envision for your sculpture to, like, what's the time scale so it will start to break up in
yeah, so years? That's something that, you know, it's not predictable, of course, but we can influence it, right? And so that's where we would start to create fracture or weakness points within the sculpture.
Okay, and the idea to show these, so it's like okay. I understand how do, like, if a person walks by, how it will be able to understand. So it's like how it will look. It's like a broken structure, or
eventually, yes. So the concept is you'll see it transform from a kind of monolithic structure with light peering out through the top. And then as it starts to erode, light exposes until you eventually have rubble at the bottom, and then you just have the light cylinder as the final piece.
Okay, thank you.
Great, we have another question from Jānis Bloks.
Thank you. So as I understood correctly,
there are some steel structure inserted into 3D, into concrete structure.
Correct.
What kind of steel it is?
I would just use iron because it's the easiest to oxidize and expose to the elements.
So there will be rust in these.
Correct.
Then question to Mr. Shinka, how it plays together with the concrete?
It erodes the concrete. Yeah.
Yes, the erosion will happen, of course.
Yeah.
Erosion will be there. Yeah.
But that's what
Yeah.
Maris looks very surprised. Usually he hears that people don't want erosion in there. So we are having nature, erosion.
It's okay with me. I don't know if the University of Latvia wants like a temporary sculpture. I don't know.
I wouldn't necessarily call it as a temporary structure as much as like it's a beacon. Let's say, you know, it's a hard shell, there's no light, and then as soon as it's gone, then you have the light, it's exposed. And so there's that inner glow, right?
Very good explanation. Thank you. So thanks for the theme XYZ. And the next theme, so we are skipping over LV Art. Apparently they got a bit scared of the competition, or who knows. We'll see them in the next competition. But the theme that we are asking now to present is 3D cement. And the next theme after that will be North Artisans. So 3D cement, Ivars Grunte, we are ready for the presentation.
Okay, so I am a member of 3D Cements. Can you hear me? Can you see the screen?
Yes, and we are starting the countdown now.
Great, awesome. So first of all, hello everyone. Even at this late hour, I'm excited to talk about our team and present ourselves and our idea that we came up with. So a little about us. So we are both curious minds, creative, and have an engineering background. We love to explore different technologies, different methods of production, and we, first of all, most importantly, we love to get our hands dirty. A little bit about myself. So I have a mechatronics background that has propelled me towards industrial automation. I have been building some of our equipment that we have been using, like portal router, composite vending machine, some of the tooling for industrial robot. Have participated in different projects ranging from a smaller product design and going up to a larger scale models like aircraft, which is installed outdoors. And I have a second team member, Ivars. Can you say hi and a few words about yourself? So, in place of him, I'm saying hi. So quickly about our previous work, I know that we have the other way around. So we start with ourselves and then we'll jump into our idea. So we have been working with different things and different technologies. So I just want to mention some of those, which here in the top left corner, you can see image of industrial robot arm cutting this glass fiber shell, which results in design object. Then we have our own routing machine, which has run off a lot of miles, cutting different materials in different shapes. And another one produced that we have worked with before is carbon wind tubes, which are wound on our created machine. And then interesting here is that the construction and the string it depends on the layers, the angles that we are laying the winds. And eventually our idea. So we got this notorious smoking area, or let's call it philosopher's chamber. So we have came up with this design which you can see in image. So we are thinking on 3D printing the pockets for the greenery, for the grass, and for the flowers, which will be added to the base structure. And then we think that having this as a having these smaller parts which we are printing out, it gives us modularity, and it's less risky as we don't kind of accumulate any errors, and then every of those parts can be produced separately. And
it's time,
I'm hearing
10 seconds, and then you...
Yeah, and that's actually all that I have to tell you about this today. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Your presentation has generated a lot of interest. We have 2 hands raised. We will start with Varders, and then maybe Janis forgot to raise down. I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Very nice idea. As I said previously, university is not supporting the smoking areas across the campus, but still that could be used as a waste shelter or something kind of this. But yeah, thank you.
Good. Yeah, I guess in later stages, so we can find a different purpose for it as well. Yeah.
I really like the filtering aspect. Yanni, you already explained a bit how it is with these smoking areas. We are still doing them, or we are converting them to contemplation areas.
I should say we should also take care about people who are not.
Okay, so there will be a discussion among jury members behind the closed doors, and after that we will decide if it will be a contemplation area or a smoking zone. No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it's still a shelter, so I think the structure is the same, and then whether it will be with cigarettes or with something else, it's a different question. Okay, perfect. Very good. So next people who present are Team North Artisans, and after them we have a team that is called Crazy Idea. So North Artisans, Viesturs Balodis and Haralds Gerts, we are ready for your presentation.
Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Our team consists
hello.
Yeah. Our team consists me, Viesturs Balodis, and Haralds Gerts, and today we will explain and present our 3D concept for Latvian university territory. And now I am going to give awards to Harold, who will introduce and explain our concept. Harold?
Okay, hello everyone. So basically, me and Viesturs are like very creative people. So we managed to take a little bit combination of tasks. So basically, we wanted bench, we wanted sculpture, and maybe combined with other stuff we can actually do. So our basic idea is to make installation unique way with the concrete and lights and unique design as well. So and of course we need some safety as well, because we don't want to hurt people and etc. So besides I am designer, sculptor, and cabinet maker and architect. Viesturs is architect. So basically, we conclude that the good idea to make a good quality sculpture is to make material combinations and also to think about the lightings as well. So our main idea is to combine all these things which you're already seeing on the screen, metal, wood as well. So yeah, and that's Viestur, can you switch the next video? Yeah, so basically we started to make sketches, and the main idea was to make a good application form for this kind of contests, to make maybe for Latvian university, it's their symbol, the tree. So basically we have thought about how could be very interesting to push the boundaries of 3D printing, also material combining. So we will make a concrete oak tree with the lightnings, with the stainless steel leaves, and all the applications which would make this design very unique. Afterwards, when we worked with Viesturs, we made the forms, we made the lightning lines, made metal inserts, and of course we understood that if we're pushing the boundaries of 3D printing, it would be a great solution to make like metal profile tube inlays, which would make like armored, like a structural side of this tree. It would be very possible. And afterwards, we just came up with this design, which is combining Latvian University logo, logo design. So basically, oak tree, the bench, and on the night shift time, it would be like a lightning object as well. And of course, if we remember from those lists, Isaiah, which is philosopher. The philosopher's meaning is that the philosophers like to hang out under the tree leaves and think about life.
Okay, thank you for your attention. I hope that you will understand everything what said the Harald. So, questions?
Yes, we will also upload the video if you send it to us, because this video material, it's really great that you actually animated everything. I think it's quite a great achievement in itself already. So do we have any questions? There are no questions, which means your presentation was very understandable, very good. So the next theme is theme with the name Crazy Idea. And after that, the next theme will be One Man Studio. And I think that is almost our last presentation. If PG hasn't joined, then we can say ourselves that we have done our extremely good job on time management. Without further ado, the team Crazy Idea, Daniela Krapane, we are ready for your presentation.
Yes, good evening.
We can see you and I hear you.
Okay, good evening. My name is Daniela, and I should make a smoking area and place to sitting. First idea is smoking area. This space is made of similar parts, but their size are changed. This area contains benches and placed for landing different plants. For example, flowers, trees. In the wall can be placed lights. This area is partly closed. Second idea is for sitting and relaxing. This bench looks like bird, and there is a place for sitting of different shapes, so everyone can choose conveniently place for yourself. There is also place to put different things. The shape is very elegant and simple. So this bench we can put in different places. And about me, I'm studying design. I'm beginner in 3D modeling. And thank you for your attention.
Excellent. Thank you for the presentation. Right, extremely on time. So we will be finishing before the deadline. That's always a pleasure. And do we have a question from the jury members? I don't see any raised hands, which means we can go towards. We have. Yes, Janne?
Sorry for late hand.
Sorry.
I saw the smoker area. There were several sizes of elements. There were also some flower beds, the biggest ones. If you come.
Yeah, the biggest ones is for trees and for flowers, different plants.
Okay. Thank you.
Mate, Daniela, the name of team is Daniela Krapane.
Yes, we are now already in a part where there are individual participants. So Una Lidere wasn't presenting, so this is Daniela Krapane. It's very good that you asked. Yes. She's a single participant, but she also has a team name. So
Thank you.
And now we have we can see that for people who are single people, no, not single people, but alone, it's sometimes harder to finish on time. So several of individual participants haven't submitted the entries, as I understand. And the next participant he also has a very great team name that is One Man Studio, but in jury list it will be Lars Krause, so the last participant. And yes, we are ready for you, Lars Krause, One Man Studio.
Hello. Do you hear me?
We can hear you, and if you will share the presentation, we will probably also see it.
Okay.
I will start the countdown only when you start talking, so you don't need to worry.
Okay. Okay. My name is Lars Krause, and I choose the task of bench. I will be making a bench inspired of those kind of geometric patterns. There is some sketches I made of profiles of what will be the parts of the bench. I can 3D print in different shapes, and it can be generative design. There is some renderings I made, and yeah, something like that. And I also made a little 3D print in the vase mode really quickly. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, I'm experienced with 3D modeling, 3D printing, design, plaster molds, silicone molds, casting, sculpting, about different material properties, and how can I use them to make things happen. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. So as you can see that you get a lot of points for realization. I guess it's already printed. We just need to increase the scale. Let's see if we have any questions from the jury members. Jury members have understood everything perfectly. So with that, I think you were the last participant. We can ask, maybe someone did send an entry, but it wasn't received. If it has happened, then now is your time to speak up. If not, then we will proceed. I will share the whole screen, say some final words. Also from each jury member after me, if you have some comment before we finish today's competition, like contemplation, then you can definitely say that. If not, it's also okay. For me personally, I'm very happy that I am not a jury member, because there were so many great presentations that it would be extremely hard to decide which ones are the best. But that's why we have a very experienced and professional jury. So all of the works can be seen on our Miro board. It will also be left there for your consumption or reference. What is also important, as we said in the beginning, but maybe someone didn't hear that, the final team lists will need to be sent in until 30th of November midnight, which gives you some time to think. For those teams who have passed, you see that maybe you don't have enough expertise in design, maybe you don't have enough expertise in technical production. As you saw, there are a lot of teams and a lot of people who are working. You can add more team members, even from teams who probably will not pass through. So you still have this chance, because the final team names and amount of people need to be submitted by this 30th November. However, the results of this competition will be announced on 23rd of November, which is next Tuesday, 7 o'clock in the evening. Otherwise, I will now give the floor and microphone to the jury members, and if you have some overall comments on the presentations, you can speak freely by raising the hand. Margers is ready to speak.
Yeah, thank you everyone for participation. We really value your participation again. And I believe, Matti, the presentations will be available to
Yes, they are. We will send them to you.
Carefully again for us to give our final decision.
Thank you. August Bratushkins was the next person who raised the hand. I really like that the background lights are synchronized with our design aesthetics, so we just really prepared.
I tried a bit. Thank you that you noticed that. So when I said at the very beginning that I'm going to look for creativity and maybe some extraordinary issues, I didn't mention anything definite. And now I'm very glad. Thank you all participants for your contribution, because I found at least several very nice, attractive ideas combining various fields, not only 3D printing or concrete, but also natural elements and plastic features. So I believe that maybe distributing points in the table that Mattis had prepared, that is one thing, but another thing will be to calculate all the results. And I don't know how many of you will have the opportunity to prepare this test model, but I believe that there will be very nice surprises when they will be done. So thank you for this evening presentations, and have a very, very good luck, and of course, very inspiring state birthday. Thank you.
Yes. I also have to say thank you to all the jury members who also didn't ask that many questions, because that made us able to finish on time. So one of them is Elena. Feel free to now give some words. Yes.
Thanks, dear teams and organizers, about outstanding evening with many great ideas, and also those teams that will pass this stage. So continue to work with your ideas and try to find more remarkable aspects for your ideas, because you have great potential here. So good luck in implementation process.
Awesome. Thank you, Elena. And we have Professor Indriķis Mužnieks as the next person.
Yeah, hello, good evening again to everybody. So it was really interesting to follow up how those ideas are developing, even some of them during the phase of the presentation. But in general, I'm really impressed by the versatility of the ideas. At the same time, I can say that there are some main avenues which can be followed during all those presentations. And of course, to my consideration, the main point is to find out those ideas which can cover the most versatile field of versatile ways of eventual applications. And I hope that also some of them which already during this presentation we saw that there may be some technical problems in the implementation, that in the end effect, those eventual problems will not impede the possibilities to at least to try to really bring them to real objects. In fact, it is one of also the tasks of this competition to try to happen even the most improbable or challenging things. So thank you for the endeavor, and I hope that it will be an interesting further activity for the new campus area of the University of Latvia. And thank you, and thanks to the colleagues from Technical University who have been so active in participating in all this. So nice national holidays for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a very great feedback, and I think as a last we have Jānis Ploks with some closing comments.
Thank you, Matti. Thank you all the teams for amazing evening. It was really interesting. Thank you, Mattis, as well for organizing. So I like the ideas. I see that there are a lot of creativity, and Latvian design has a future. So that's great. And of course, there are a lot of challenges for several attractive ideas, but I believe you can deal with that. And we are really waiting for reality and real models. So good luck and be strong.
Perfect. Very good advice. Also, we will, for the jury members, please don't go away. We will ask you to stay for extra 5 minutes to negotiate about the next meeting or how we will work on the results. But for participants and people who are still watching us, I would also want to say big thanks. We already thanked the sponsors, but now we can thank the people who are behind this. It was not only me creating and organizing everything. We have a great team of very professional specialists. So these are the organizers, and these here are the mentors that have helped make this happen. And of course, on the top, we have the jury members who have shown excellent strength here. And we also have the last words from Professor Indritis Mužnieks, I think, so we can give him a word if the hand gesture means that. Or it was the previous one.
Sorry, it looks like that it is the previous.
It is the previous one. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Just noticed that maybe they.
Thank you again. It was a great idea, and thank you to all the participants.
Yes. Perfect. So for the participants, I just want to say that when we saw how much you can achieve in 4 hours, I can't even imagine what we will have after 3 months. It will be extremely surprising, I think, and I can't wait to see the presentations, scale models, and posters. So we will announce the teams who get the €500 grant for further work next Tuesday. And all the participants, thank you. Have a great evening. Our team will get in touch with the pizza winners, and then you can decide if you want an evening pizza or a morning pizza. And for the jury members, please stay a bit so we can decide on the next date for closing in. Yes, and we will start removing participants if you don't go voluntary, and we will also stop the live Facebook stream right now. Thank you, and have a great evening and holidays.